What's going on, everyone? This is Kevin here, coming at you with Motorola Moto G 2026 tips and tricks and hidden features. So stay tuned if you want to learn how to get the most out of your device. So this is the Motorola Moto G 2026. Now this phone is a budget option for Motorola, but despite that, we're still getting a lot of different features here with the device, and I'm looking forward to showing you some of my favorites here in this video. Now the first thing I want to show you is how to get a battery percentage in the upper right corner on the device at all times. Now you can see by default, we do have a battery indicator, and that does give you some idea of the amount of battery left in the phone, but we're not getting the actual percentage. Now if you do pull down the shade, you will see the percentage right there, but I want to show you how to get that at all times. So what we're going to do is pull down the shade once again, go to the gear icon for the settings, and then from the settings, you're going to go down to where it says battery, and then from there you'll see battery percentage. So if you tap there, it's now enabled, and then now, no matter where you are here on the device, you're always going to see that battery percentage. So that's definitely very convenient. So definitely something that I do recommend enabling here with the phone. Now going back over to the general battery settings, there's some other good things here too that you will want to utilize. Now the first one here that I want to show you is battery saver. So if you enable battery saver, the phone's going to cut out a bunch of different background tasks and other things too, but in exchange for that, you're going to be getting way better battery life here with the device. Now we have a slower refresh rate. As you can see, it's a lot slower overall. The phone runs choppier, so definitely some compromises here when it comes to using battery saver, but again, you're going to be getting way better battery life with the device. So definitely if you know you have a long day ahead of you and you're concerned about the phone running out of battery, then battery saver is here for the rescue. Now in addition to that, you can go to set a schedule, and then from there you can have it be based on percentage. So if you find yourself constantly putting the phone into battery saver, especially once it reaches a certain percentage, then you can set that right here. So starting all the way at 75%, but you can pick from there all the way down to 20%. So that's definitely a nice way to have battery saver be enabled automatically, just in case you happen to forget. And once your phone is in battery saver, if you have turn off at 90% enabled, it will automatically go back to the regular mode once the phone does recharge up to that level. So that's very convenient. Now, in case you're curious, this other option is adaptive battery. This is enabled by default, but basically your phone is going to learn you and how you use your device to better optimize how the battery drains. So that's very awesome. And then this one's not enabled, but it's called overcharge protection. So in general, the more times you recharge your phone's battery, the less the battery will be holding up as time goes on. So one way to kind of extend the life of your phone's battery is to limit charging to 80%. So if you do enable overcharge protection, you can see here it will keep your battery healthy and charging will be limited to 80%. And then once a week, your battery will charge to 100% to keep it calibrated. Now this is definitely completely optional. In my opinion, I would not enable this because you are then missing out on 20% of your phone's battery. But if you are planning on keeping this phone for more than 2 years, then maybe that will come in handy because at that point, that's probably where you will especially notice that the battery doesn't hold up quite as much. Now with the Moto G 2026, this is how the lock screen looks by default. So it is pretty nice how it's laid out in the sense that you get the temperature, you get the date, and then you do get the actual time here. But what's cool is that you can further customize this. So go over to your home screen on your device, and then from there, hold down, and then go to personalize, and then you'll see right here lock screen. So once here, we can further customize this. So first thing is tap on the clock itself, and you can see there are some other options for the clock face. So you can choose to have this option here. You can choose this option as well. So it is nice that we have multiple options here for the clock face. And then in addition to that, you can customize the notification style. So if you want it in a list or a notification chip, you have those options as well. Or you can have the bubbles, which are the default. If you tap here, you can actually add different shortcuts. So you can see here's some of the shortcuts. You can also add any app that's installed on your phone. And then you do get 2 shortcuts here with the device. So I definitely recommend adding in some of your favorite things here into these shortcuts so that the phone is kind of laid out exactly how you want it to be so that you have the most usability. Now, one of my favorite things about the Moto G 2026 is that we are getting this fast refresh rate with the device. So it is a very smooth experience. However, if you go to the settings, there are some more options for this. So from here, go to display, and then you'll see right here display refresh rate. Now you do have options here between hyper smooth, which is the top 120 Hz refresh rate. There's also smart and balanced, so you're still getting the benefits of 120 Hz, but then also it is kind of balancing things out a bit better to give you better battery life. And then finally efficiency first, that will give you the most efficiency with the battery, but then you do have just the standard 60 Hz. So we'll switch it over to efficiency and I'll show you the difference. And you already saw this in the battery saver mode, but you're gonna see how choppy things are. So I definitely don't recommend switching it over to that unless you really wanna save battery. But you might wanna consider smart and balanced if you want the best of both worlds. Now, have you ever seen those people where if they get a phone call or a text message comes in or really anything else, the flash will then blink a few times? Well, that's called flash notifications. So heading back over to the settings, if you go to search and then you type in flash, you'll see right there flash notifications. So if you go there and then you go here, you can then enable that. So the first option here is just the regular camera flash. So we'll preview that. And you can see that's what it does when you get a notification. Now with the Moto G 2026, if you double press on the power button, it does take you directly over to the camera app. And that's definitely very convenient. So no matter where you are, just double press on that button and then now the camera appears. And then if you long press on that button, it does pull up the Gemini Assistant, which is definitely very helpful. However, I know some people prefer just to pull up the power menu instead. So if you go to the settings and then you go to search and then you type in key and then go to physical key, you can go right here to press and hold power button. And then instead of the digital assistant, you can have it pull up the power menu instead. So if you hold down there, you now get options for powering off, restarting, and more. Now, as you probably know, if you want to get to this through the operating system, you can just go down to here from the notification shade and do that. But I know some people do prefer the old school method of restarting their phone or turning it off. So if you want to do that, you do have that option. Now, the next thing I want to show you is how to take a screenshot with the Motorola Moto G 2026. And there are multiple methods to take a screenshot here with the device. So the first way to take a screenshot is to simply hold the volume down and power button for about a second. And then just like that, it takes the screenshot and then you can edit it or share it or just delete it. Now, another way to take a screenshot is to take 3 fingers, hold them down on the display, and then just like that, you took a screenshot. And then another method is to ask Gemini to do it for you. So hold down the power button if you have that enabled, take a screenshot. And then now Gemini took the screenshot. Another way to take a screenshot is to pull down the shade and then go to these quick toggles and then go over and you'll see this one that says screenshot. And if you tap there, the device will then take a screenshot. And then the final way to take a screenshot is go to your recent apps button. And then if there's a recent app that you want to take a screenshot of, you'll see this option right here. And if you tap on that, it'll take a screenshot of that app. But this is how to take a screenshot with the Motorola Moto G 2026. Now by default with this device, we are getting the standard Android 3-button navigation. However, this can be customized. So pull down the shade and then from there go to the settings, go to search, type in nav, and then you'll see right there 3-button navigation, go there. And then from there, you can go to the settings. And if you want to change the button order, you can do that. So now the back button's on the right side and recent apps is on the left side. And then another option is to switch over to gesture-based navigation. So if you enable that, you can see now we just have a small line here at the bottom of the phone. And then swiping up will take us home. Swiping partially up will take us to our recent apps. And then swiping from the side will take us back. Now with this device, we're getting a very large display, which is excellent for many reasons. But it also makes the phone difficult to reach all portions of the operating system with just one hand. Now, thankfully, there is a feature here called one-handed mode. And if you go to the settings and then go to search and then type in 1, you'll see one-handed mode right there. And then from there, you can enable that. Now, if you are actually in the gesture-based navigation, which we'll go to first, this does work a lot better. So go back over to the full-on gestures menu here in the settings. Go to system navigation. And we're literally just here, but switch it over to gestures. And then now go back, go to one-handed mode there, enable that. And then now if you just swipe down, it lowers the entire display. So you're getting one-handed mode here with the device. So we'll try that again. And again, I can reach areas up above here very easily. And then I can tap outside of this to bring things back to normal. But that is the one-handed mode. Now in addition to that, you can switch it over to show notifications instead. So if you swipe down, it'll now show just the notification shade, which is also very convenient. And then in addition to that, there is the one-handed mode shortcut. And with that enabled, we now have a button here on the side, and that'll put the phone in one-handed mode, which right now I have notifications selected, but we'll try that again. And you can see just that button there will then put the phone into one-handed mode. Now back over in this gestures part of the settings, which by the way, you can access that directly by going to the main settings and then going down to gestures. But there's a lot of good stuff here. I did show you quite a few of these already. Now the first one here is swipe to split. So this is not enabled by default, but once that's enabled, all you have to do is just swipe, and then from there it puts the phone into split screen, and then you can pick your split screen applications. So that's really awesome. So we'll try this out. So now I can pick the secondary application, which it does have to be a recent app, but I'm going to pick this one. And then now we have a 50-50 split here with these two apps. And then if you want one of them to be smaller, you can do that. Or if you want one to take over completely, you can swipe all the way down or up. And then now we have the full screen app once again. Now in addition to that, you can go to your recent apps here, tap up above, and then from there, you can also go to split screen and then pick that secondary application. Now going further down here, there's some other options too. So there's quick launch. So basically if you tap on the back of your phone, it'll activate different features. So if you go over to the settings for this, you can choose what it's gonna do. So there's quite a few options here. You can also choose from any app on your phone. So maybe you find yourself using Instagram quite a bit. So now just double tap on the back of your phone and then it pulls up Instagram. So that's really cool. There's also quick capture, so twist your wrist twice quickly to open up the camera at any time. So we'll try that. There we go, it opened up the camera. So that's very convenient. There's also fast flashlight, so move the phone in 2 chopping motions. It turns on the flashlight, and then moving it again turns that off. We also have lift to unlock, so it'll unlock your device by picking it up and looking at the screen. So you do have to enable face unlock, which I haven't done yet for that feature, but definitely give that a try as well. And then there's also pick up to silence. So if you pick up the phone, it will then silence the device. And then there's also flip for DND. So if you put the phone face flat, it'll put the phone into do not disturb. Now the final thing I want to show you is that if you pull down the shade here and then go to this area, we have these awesome quick toggles, which I'm sure you're very familiar with if you've used other Android devices. But you can also go to this pen icon right there and then further edit these. Now, if you find yourself not using some of these, you can also remove them. There's many of them that are not here right now. So maybe you want song search, for example. If you pick that one and then you drop it in and then we head out of here, you can go there. And then from there, you can play, sing, or hum a song, and then it'll identify that song, which is really cool. So I'd definitely recommend going through and customizing these with the device so that things are exactly how you want it to be. But I hope you enjoyed this video on tips, tricks, and hidden features for the Motorola Moto G 2026. If you learned something new today, definitely give the video a thumbs up. But this is Kevin here, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and have a great rest of your day.